Pete, I know that you're big on golf, but I got to tell you right up front, I don't give a shit about professional golf. I never really have. I mean, I'll watch the Masters every now and then, and I have an excellent golf game myself on the golf course, which in the last couple of years has started to suck hard, but I don't care. George Carlin said it best. Golf courses are wonderful places. That's a great waste of space. It could be used for cemeteries. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the side of this that catches me and all is that the players are all independent contractors, Pete. There's no players union here. There's no responsibility for the PGA Tour to tell them a damn thing. They cut the deal to basically make a lot more money for everybody else. And the players are left out in the cold. And these guys, honestly, Pete, as much as I don't give one crap about golf, because a lot of them are really arrogant human beings, they're going to make probably a lot more money if the lawyers don't get too involved, Pete, because we're all talking like this is a done deal. And this isn't a done deal yet. This has got to clear a lot of legal hurdles. But these guys, they got suckered, Pete, flat and simple.
Well, they got suckered a little bit. Look, I don't give a shit about what legal hurdle. It's going to be done. There's too much money involved. All these people coming up with theories about how it's going to get done. Look, the bottom line is all these players, they're right. They got duped. But in the end, they all say it's the best for the game. You know why? Because they're all going to get paid more, and there's going to be more payouts for every tournament of the PGA Tour. Nobody knows the geometry of the deal yet. I keep using that term because it makes me sound really smart. But right now the PGA Tour is going to stay the same. There's still going to be live golf. I guess how they're going to incorporate it is going to be interesting. But in the end, the players know it is the best for golf, because there's going to be higher payouts and the pay scale is going to be longer. More, instead of 35 or 40 people getting paid, you're going to get 55 people get paid, and there's going to be and you're going to get more money. And I think this tournament this week, it's too bad you don't like, because you're going to get golf in prime time, and this is going to be one of the highest rated events, I think, in PGA Tour history. You're getting in Los Angeles at maybe the ultimate Bushwood of the West Coast snobatorium golf course. These people,
that's right, the snobatorium. You're exactly right, and that's why I can't stand golf with all the snobs and all these high-end idiots that are sitting there. I don't like them. I don't care. Go ahead.
If you're a sports fan, you have to watch this tournament. You know why?
No, what? Why?
Yes.
Why?
If you're a sports fan, you have to watch. First of all, it's one of the majors in golf. Second of all, it's at a course that nobody knows anything about. Nobody's played it before except for Morikawa and Scheffler during the Walker Cup in 2017. That's why the practice rounds this week had to be huge. The LA Country Club, you have five. It's so unique. You have 5 par 3s and 3 par 5s. And the par 3s are 283, 293, 284, and one of them 78 yards. I don't know how you can be a sports fan and not care about this.
Who cares? It's easy. I've been covering sports for 40 years. I don't give a damn about golf. Not one single second, not one iota. To me, it's not interesting.
You're in the minority, and you're in a state that
I don't think I am.
One of the highest rated golf markets in the country in all of Florida. Fort Myers is like 1 or 2.
Yeah, for old white guys looking to make a $5 Nassau.
Everybody is going to be watching this tournament this week as a sports fan. Everybody. Except Ed Berliner, because he's a golf snot. But
I'm not a golf snob. I'm not a golf snob. I don't give a shit. Golf's not important. To me, golf is barely a sport, Pete.
Don't you want to experience something that you haven't experienced before?
I have played golf. I have watched golf.
You haven't seen that on this course. You haven't.
Pete, I covered golf for 20 years, Pete. I sat at the PGA and the LPGA tours, and I hated every single second of it because they were nothing more than a bunch of fat cat white guy snobs who couldn't give a crap about anybody else, especially the fans, who every time a fan walked up to somebody and asked for an autograph, they basically spit on them and walked away because they're golfers. Fuck you. I'm tired of these golfers. That's all they are. They're just nothing more than arrogant SOBs.
Well, they really like you, I'll tell you that.
Well, okay. They can like me. That's fine. Clayton, you are not a golfer. So
I'm not a golfer. I think it's a tough sport to follow if you don't actually participate in it, because I think much of watching it is predicated on sort of getting a sense of the mechanics and skill of what they do. In terms of what's going on with the PGA right now, in a strange way, it kind of reminds me of the AFL's takeover of the NFL, because as much as anything, that had to do with the big money behind the AFL. You had oil men like Lamar Hunt and Bud Adams behind what was going on, and many of the NFL teams were owned by guys or families where that was their primary family business. So although the AFL presented itself as the underdog for years during the war between the leagues, the AFL was really the money organization in all kinds of ways. And I think the dynamics of what's played out between the PGA, which is hardly a mom and pop, and Live have reflected that same sensibility.
And I appreciate that. And what Pete is saying is true. There's a lot of people who care about it. I don't. I don't think most of the nation cares about golf, at least golfers. They don't care. No, go ahead and look at the numbers. That's okay. We can agree to disagree on this.
Look at the numbers. I don't know where you come up with that, because I'm telling you, everybody in California is going to be watching. Yeah, you guys.
No, they're not.
The New England market is huge, but I don't know where you get your information
Do you
from.
know why people watch golf, Pete? They watch it to see who screws up.
Golf is big in the Midwest. It's big in the Northeast. Boston gets one of the highest rated for major golf events in the country. That is a fact. Go look up the numbers.
Okay, people do it because they want to see how to make a 10-foot putt. For me, I don't care. It's hitting a ball with a stick and it just sits there.
You don't get it. You just don't
You're
get
right.
it.
I don't.
Get it.
I don't want to.
I guess there are a certain number of viewers like me. Like, I'm a last hour on Sunday afternoon of the majors kind of guy. Like, I have nothing against the PGA Tour, but like, to me, if it's competitive down the stretch, I'm guessing there's a lot of casual viewers like me who will turn it on before 60 minutes. Maybe that's a declining number over time. We're waiting to turn into 60 minutes, but I think there are plenty of people just looking for some competitive, dramatic television, and I think a major golf tournament provides that incredibly well. And hopefully, it's that will determine whether I watch it or not. If I am sitting around my TV at 5:30 on Sunday afternoon, I turn it on and it's competitive, I'll watch 90 minutes of golf and enjoy the heck out of it. But for me, it's not something I'm going to watch day to day. But I have no.
You got to factor this in. This is why this is so special too. You don't get a lot of prime time majors. This is a prime time major, so it's going to be huge through most of the country, because on the East Coast, you're going to be watching golf till 10 or 11 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to get big numbers.
Which really sucks because it cuts into my 60 minutes. You know, I want 60 minutes to start at 7 o'clock, damn it. If that doesn't start and it goes over, then I lose 60 minutes on my DVR. That's the bigger issue with me.
When's the last time 60 minutes did a show that was relevant?
When was the last time 60 Minutes did a show that was one of the highest rated on the weekly schedule? Every single week. More people watch 60 Minutes than care about golf. Every single weekend. Go look at the numbers. But can we not? No, go ahead. You look. Can we not just agree, though, Pete? I mean, and let's put all this aside.
Stuff that they do, what have they done? They've rehashed news from the entire week on the whole.
They don't rehash
get one
news.
good segment a year. It's not even close what 60 Minutes used to be.
It's exceptionally investigative.
Now it's not.
It's exceptionally investigative every single week. 60 Minutes is still the best show on television. And you know what's the second best show on television? But unfortunately, the writer's strike has hit it right now. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. The best investigative show on television, period, end of story. Because their research goes into great stories and they actually uncover things. But that's why it's still...
You see how you don't give a shit about golf? I don't give a shit about news on the whole, because all of it is nonsense to me.
And we're still friends.
It's all bullshit. That's where the real bullshit is. I don't care if it's Fox, CNN, CSNBC. I don't give a damn. It all sounds the same to me, and I don't believe any of them.
Can we not agree at the end of the day? Sorry, I'm going to need another drink of water here. Can we not agree at the end of the day that the golfers themselves were suckered, and they're all going to make more money, and they're all whining about this, and at the end of the day, the Saudis and their money, whatever it is, but that is going to run the PGA Tour, whatever it's called from here on out. And in 5 years, when we see all these golfers making an extra $3, $4, $5 million, they won't give a shit that they were lied to. And oh yeah, by the way, Jay Monahan is out there because of a medical reason right now. The commissioner of the PGA Tour is taking a medical leave. I have it on good authority that he's got to have his head taken out of his ass. Yeah. And that's the reason why.
Well,
but that's still all about, you and I both know, Pete, it's all about the money. End of story.
Well, yeah, I'm not denying anything you said is true. And all the players are saying all over. Yeah, they're all hurt. They're hypocritical. Monahan, all that stuff. But in the end, they all say the same thing. After they say their piece, they all say this is good for the game of golf, which is, again, for all the reasons we just talked about. It's going to be. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and it is what it is. And I'll be watching. And I know on our show today,
okay,
we'll have wall-to-wall coverage for it. We have.
Well, because you're also in a market where the retirees are all knocking out at the golf course right now because it's the best place they can get the cheap gin and tonics.
Now, again, painting the broad brush, the Ed Berliner broad brush, knowing not what he's talking about. But you're wrong. Again, you're wrong. You don't know our listeners. You don't know my audience, and I'm telling you,
I'm not. There's
it's
nothing against your
all.
audience.
It's old and young. It's everybody. And this tournament being in prime time is a huge deal. It's going to be the most watched thing on TV this week,
Okay, well,
especially
look
if
at
it comes down to the wire on Saturday and Sunday. And then I hope there's a playoff on Monday just to piss you off even more.
right, and it's a major which will get a lot of attention because it is a major. But then again, 3 weeks from now, when there's a tournament in bumfuck Egypt somewhere or sitting out in Arkansas, the ratings will be right back to what it normally is, which is people who like golf and they watch it and they want to see how to make a putt. That's fine. You and I both know, and I'll give this to you, Pete. Masters, PGA Championship, U.S. Open, things like that. Yeah, they get big numbers. But if you go to the tournament any other week, they're okay.